Hello there, my name is Anthony Barocas with Stream4Us. Now, I know a lot of people are trying to find ways to enable virtual meetings, and what I've been trying to do is I have been working to take Zoom, the free version, and make it applicable in a production type situation whereby you can select different people who are speaking, you can give them titles when they come up as if they were cameras and as if everything was in your streaming app of choice. And I am going to show a demo of this using an iPad-based app called Switcher Studio, and we will see that there are still some interface issues with regards to the business chat apps, which are pretty much all designed so that all of the interface is also on top of the video that you're trying to watch. So if you want to select between different people, that interface happens on top of the screen. Whereas in a production type of environment, you want that to happen behind the scenes, and then the picture itself is never overlaid with other stuff. So these things are not really built to work together, but as you'll see, it actually does not work all that bad, and I think there is a lot of potential when it comes to managing a discussion between people in anywhere in the world coming together and then taking that conversation and streaming it out to a specific destination. Let's take a look. My name is Anthony Barocas. Let's do that. And I am here in Dallas. And first, let us go to Rob, because I have Rob's title up here. Let's go to the preview so I can do me and Rob. And then we will go to that, and there we are, and Rob is with me. And if you are watching on Facebook, you'd be about 20 seconds behind. And you would see this nice split screen with me and Rob. And Rob's got a title up, and I have a title up. And Rob, tell us how your business has been since everybody's been told to stay home.
Well, our business has been about the same, but we put on like a lot of meetings and things. So I've had some meetings with like 100 that are supposed to be 100 people in person, changed to 100 people virtually. So I have been scrambling a little bit to make sure I work on the appropriate technology to make them interactive enough and that work for 100 plus people online.
But the challenge is doing it if and one of our guests is over here, one of our guests is over there, and Switcher Studio has that call-in feature, but I was reading in one of the webcasting groups that this big conference event that somebody was going to work on with 24 people, all of a sudden needed to be virtual. And at that point, you really have blown through every for doing things online.
Right.
So let's do this. How about you in Canada? How are you finding it?
Lots and lots of inquiries. We're probably tenfold up.
Really?
With the number of people that are looking for this service. We're also doing a lot of work sending emails, talking to people, finding people that are hosting events in the next few weeks. And even though they're being canceled or postponed, they're thankful to know that we exist, to know the technology exists. And then there's a lot of people kind of on the cusp, a month or two from now, that are wondering what their event is going to look like, even if things ease up a little bit as far as restrictions. Are we still 100 or 200 people? So that's kind of what we're hearing. But I would say, tenfold interest in live streaming right now.
And how are you meeting that demand?
That's it. We're spending a lot of time. We're sending out a lot of quotes, a lot of conference calls. We actually just did Canadian media today, so that would be the equivalent of like the national broadcast news in America. The Canadian press called us to interview us today.
Right. All right. Scott. Tell me, Scott, how's it working for you?
So streaming is not my full-time business. So I'm a real estate broker.
Okay.
And I've got 11 agents that work for me, and I'm with Switcher Studios because I actually just finished my in-person conference, and we use Switcher on March 5th and 6th.
Right.
So we got our event right under, got it completed right before everything kind of started going to shit.
All right. Matt, how's things out there for you?
We've been very busy trying to make some product changes to Switcher to support everybody. It's been pretty crazy.
I know you are chomping at the bit with regards to more virtual connections.
Mm-hmm. So in support of that, we have changed the usage limits on video chat for the next few months. There's a lot of worship centers around the world that suddenly are needing to go online and connect with their community. But even beyond that, things like video chat and being able to bring people in from home has been a lot of interest in doing what we can to help everybody out.
All right, let's jump over to Corey. Corey, what do you have going on?
Well, as you can see by the backdrop of my video, I'm clearly not a streamer by profession. I'm a substation electrician, so this was just a cool opportunity to get on and see what you guys are working on. What's really neat about this particular thing that I jumped on with you is we've been looking at doing. Our pastor right now actually doesn't live in the same town as our church. He's a new pastor. He hasn't moved yet, and so we've been looking at using telecommuting. So we would have some folks at the actual campus doing live music and that sort of thing, but then bringing him in remotely, and so doing something even like with Zoom or whatnot would be a pretty powerful way to do that. By the way, where are you pushing the Switcher Studio broadcast right now?
Right now, it is going to my Facebook page at IEBOCOM, and that is just like where I throw test stuff so that I could, basically manage my downstream and upstream, and actually, I'm pushing a real 1080 stream up just to make sure that both sides are working and not just pulling it down. So that was really, it's just it's a scrapyard for video.
Okay, cool. I was like frivolously trying to find it, and I was like, there's literally nothing. It's not on his streaming company page.
No. It's not an official stream that I want to have out at promoting my company. Now, if it works really well, I can drop it down, pull it over, and use it.
Right.
But at the same time, it's not something. Broadcasting error. Closed by server. Stop and record. Continue recording. Stop, record, and broadcast. Now continue recording. So, what do you do now? Come on, Matt, what do I do?
Try it again.
Don't stream in 1080p without sufficient upstream bandwidth.
Hey, supposedly I have 30 megabits up. So, but
Yeah.
these days,
I think
we've had problems pushing 1080.
Yeah.
We just bumped our church's connection to 200 meg up, so that should help a bit.
just a little bit, yes.
I had a question with there being so much demand at one time being created on like Sunday mornings at 10 to 11 o'clock a.m. Have you guys been having to dance around much, or have your servers been pretty okay with the uptick in usage?
We've been doing fine. The biggest struggle for us has been making sure we can get to everybody's questions and keep providing good customer service and support. Just because everybody is, doing things like Sunday mornings and lots of people all at once.
Yeah. If you use the second device altogether as your input device for Switcher Studio, then you could use the output audio from your kind of client device. So you'd have a host computer controlling the Zoom meeting, and then you'd have a client computer that was your ultimate output to Switcher Studio.
Right.
And then your audio would be perfectly synced. You know, as it went into SwitcherCast, the audio that you could put into your mixer or whatever would also be happening at that time too.
I think that would work. You know, right now it's like there's two devices managing the iPad and managing the laptop for muting people, not muting people, I actually haven't had to mute anybody, but selecting cameras, so to speak, so that when somebody's talking, I'm actually calling up that camera. So there's a slight delay in me getting to that particular control panel and selecting it. And adding a third device, I think, although if it's just there to take in because you would be selecting the camera on that device, wouldn't you? Or would you just use that for audio?
Well, can't you select who the primary presenter is to all of your Zoom participants? Like, is there a way for you to push who we see full screen? As the administrator of the Zoom meeting?
No, not as far as I know. Rob might know. He's got a bit more experience in Zoom than I do.
I know you can with WebEx.
Yeah.
This is Rob. He's checking it out. I'll put the title right over your eye.
Sorry. Right down here.
Somebody else had mentioned to me, go back to the multi-view here. Someone else had mentioned to me that Blue Jeans actually has a separate dashboard so that it's actually set up so that on a separate window, like on another, like if you have two windows on a laptop, you could actually have, here's the video on one screen, and here's my control panel on the other screen, and I can pick, okay, now we're going to look at slides, now we're going to look at this person, now we're going to look at slides, now we're going to look at that person. So that makes that a little easier, but, we're still have to find a way to mate the audio with things.
I've never used Zoom. Brand new to Switcher. For our church is the reason that we got Switcher. We used to use an iPhone and live stream with Facebook Live, and our audio was horrible. And got Switcher, used an iPad, some iPhones, got the. I like your background there, Rob. That's great. Set up, so I've got a direct audio feed out of our soundboard. Our audio is fantastic now, but we had a guest speaker scheduled for Sunday the 29th, and I'm looking for a way to remotely bring her in. Obviously, we're going to be live streaming now only with a small group of people. So I've been looking into Zoom and saw this post that you put out there, and that's why I jumped on real quick.
Well, and I appreciate everyone jumping in, too, because, let's try this, spotlight me. I appreciate everybody jumping in. What is that thing? The host has spotlighted your video for everyone. That's the problem, is that the administration controls are right on the screen. So what I'm doing is I am taking my Zoom video now as opposed to taking my iPad video, where it's just, a different background, a different quality of video, and being able to see the difference between my pinned video, and then now I'll just unpin me. Cancel the spotlight. All right, so now, has anyone tried Blue Jean? I hadn't heard of it until someone mentioned it in a different group.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What is Blue Jean?
Blue Dream is predates Zoom, and it's pretty popular amongst large tech companies for video conferencing. It's very similar to Zoom, and they've just been a little bit more open about some of their external control things. They're saying there's a dashboard. I mean, Zoom has that, but you have to buy dedicated hardware for like a meeting room to get it, and then there's a special Zoom app you can run on an iPad to control the meeting. BlueJeans has stuff like that. It works pretty decent. One thing you might try, Anthony, if you're having audio sync issues,
Yeah.
is fiddling with Switcher video chat screen sharing, because it captures the audio and video together and brings them in.
Ah, that could work. So then, well, if I'm having trouble with bandwidth already, to take the video from the laptop, but then send it back out to the web to come back in to Switcher Studio?
Video chat, depending on your network setup, will try to connect directly between the devices before relaying through the internet. So if you're just doing it where you have your laptop connected to the same network as your switcher, in many cases it'll be able to connect directly and not use additional bandwidth beyond setting up the connection.
Oh, okay. So it's not if it. Oops, banging my mic. If it is local, then they'll just see each other on the network and not have to use the internet. Then, right?
That is what we try to do to lower latency and bandwidth, but it's not guaranteed. It really is about your network setup.
Right.
So generally, if switcher remote cameras can connect fine, video chat will connect locally fine.
Okay. Hey, running out of time. We've removed the 40-minute time limit on your group meeting. Love it.
Yeah, that's something that Zoom did because of the COVID thing.
Ah,
They took the 40-minute time limit off of free accounts.
So I will say, using switcher video chat, you'll still have audio things you need to manage, but it'll at least you won't have sync issues versus, like you can bring your laptop into a delay box and delay the audio by about the 150 milliseconds you're probably seeing it off by.
right.
But you, of course, have to have that. But with some fiddling, you can not have to manage the delay and do it all through video chat.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a worthwhile exploration for Zoom test number 4.
All right, I got to duck out of the meeting, guys.
All righty. Thank you for joining in. I appreciate you being there.
Thanks. Stay well, everyone.
All righty. And with that, I think I am going to draw this to a close because I think this was actually pretty successful because while we've been talking, I've been switching and titling and everything, kind of demonstrating, and then I'll sort of take the recorded version and trim it down. And if I do another version, a fourth try, I will do that local video chat, and hopefully that will bring the Zoom audio in. And of course, at that point, if I switch to myself on the iPad, the audio will still match. Correct?
Yes, we manage the video chat latency just like we do remote camera latency,
Uh-huh.
and it should be in sync.
All right. Well, with that, guys, I am going to call this show a success, and I appreciate you all being here. I will go to the gallery view and take you all. So thank you all for being there. You can all give me a nice big wave for the camera. Yay. And with that, I will say thank everyone for watching. My name is Anthony Barocas from Stream4Us. Thanks for watching.